everyone. This is Dear Experts podcast. My name is Polina.
And my name is Julia, and we are here today with our next episode of the Dear Experts podcast. And we wanted to remind you to please subscribe to our podcast, rate it, share it with your expert friends, and of course, send us your letters. We want to read them, receive them. We have the email to which you can send it in our description and also on our website. So, should we start? We have our first letter. Hi, my name is Kate. I'm 25. I was born in St. Petersburg and I left my hometown almost 2.5 years ago. Now I live in the Netherlands. I have work, friends, and favorite hobbies here. But when I look back at my first month in the Netherlands, it was a tough time. Though back then I didn't even realize it. I moved here with my boyfriend who got a job offer in the Netherlands. Meanwhile, I continued working remotely in the company I had worked for in St. Petersburg. So while he was spending his days at the office, making friends and socializing, I was stuck at home working from the only chair we had in our new empty apartment. Honestly, it felt a bit unfair. I was absolutely not prepared for moving abroad. I still remember my first trip to the grocery store. I asked the cashier for a pack of cigarettes with menthol clips. She looked at me, completely confused, and said, "We haven't been selling those in Europe for almost 5 years now, sorry." Oops, I had absolutely no idea about that. Another struggle was setting up all the everyday routines I was used to in my previous life. For example, I had no idea how expensive everything beauty related would be here. When I went to get my nails done for the first time and saw the bill, 85 years, I promised myself I would never ever do my nails in the Netherlands again. But the promise didn't last very long. My journey from denial to acceptance was filled with funny stories. Once, I found a girl on Instagram offering a 50% discount on manicures. I was thrilled and went to her place, and ended up spending almost 5 hours here. I met her husband, her 7-month-old baby, and even her landlord, who, funny enough, turned out to be our landlord too. I was exhausted after a full day of work, but at least it was an adventure. Another time, following my neighbor's advice, I went to a salon in the city center for an Asian manicure. It only took the nails artist 30 minutes to remove the old polish, do the manicure, and apply the new polish, including serving another client who was sitting right next to me. I had never seen multitasking like that before. And of course, I wasn't super happy with the results either. It took me a while, but eventually I realized if you want good service here, you have to pay much more than you would in Russia, and that's okay. The story isn't about nails, it's about moving abroad and how stressful and overwhelming it can be. It's about learning that it's totally fine and actually really important to give yourself permission to spend money on the little things that make you feel at home and bring you joy, even if they cost 5 times more than they did back home. For me, it turned out to be a key part of building my new life and feeling like I truly belong here.
That's fun because in the last break, I told you that I need to go to manicure at 9 a.m. in the workday because my schedule and schedule of my Ukrainian but Russian-speaking nail master, we don't combine it like for 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, that's funny.
What actually would be your experiences that you had to start allowing yourself to make your immigration process more comfortable? Did you have you done that for yourself? Because I think it's actually good advice. It's important, but
it's important. But I know that a lot of people have problems with spending money for themselves. That's not my problem at all. But I was trying to spend less, of course. Now I know how to spend less, actually, in Netherlands. But I think you need to prepare yourself that you will spend much more in first months because you just don't know where to buy vegetables or apples. You don't know that this liquid for washing your dishes, it will cost like in Kruidvat like less than €1 and in Albert Heijn like about €7. You just don't know that in first months, and it's really, really hard. And I think I was spending a lot of money in the first months of Netherlands. I have some savings, so it went all like in 2 or 3 months. About manicure, it's the funny stuff. I'm not sure that all our listeners can relate to this. I think this is really Eastern European things too. So I was looking for my master a lot. My first experience, it was kind of Asian manicure. So the girl cutted me 3 nails, like with blood.
Oh my God.
So after for the first one, I didn't say anything. So okay, it could happen. That's okay. After the second one, I did like something like this. And after the third one, I say, "Is everything okay?" I wasn't like super not polite, but still. And she said, "Yeah, it's not a problem. It could happen." I said, "Poo poo poo." So the first one, and the second one was like the next door. And I really like vibes in this salon. They were like black, like hip hop girls. They were vibing and talking, and it was like good music and everything. And one of the girl was making my nails, and the second one just come to our table with her food, with her lunch, and she was eating and talk with this girl on the same table while they were doing my nails. So it was interesting experience too. Yeah, and after that, I understood that Russian speaking beauty processes, you need to just to find it, and I found my nail master Inna. Her Telegram channel is Inula Beauty. I found Inula from my Russian speaking makeup artist from my work. She's from Odessa too, and I think we've spent together year and a half or more. So we spend a lot of hard times together. Her problem in relationships, my broke up. She knows a lot about my work. I think this is one of the closest, not from my work, people in my immigration.
Yeah, that's funny how like you look for a service and you find close people. I think that Kate mentions that she almost made friends with one of her masters as well. Well, probably the master wasn't so good, but the company sounds fun. Yeah, for me, I think the thing that I have started to allow myself only after almost 2 years of immigration was doing sports in terms of like buying this class pass card, which is basically like a subscription and you can book classes from cycling to boxing to yoga and go to different studios. I did it in Moscow and I enjoyed it like a lot. It was my favorite activity, just trying something new all the time. And when I've like rediscovered this option for me, it increased, I think, the like just the quality of my life so much. I didn't realize it because I mean I did sports, I was going for a run, I was doing workouts at home, but it's definitely not the same if when you go to, for example, a new studio or you try the new sports. It's just like it's really fun, and it was important for me to just start to allow myself to have these experiences as well.
I want to share that it's so hard to leave your studios after that, because I had my yoga studio. It was now it's my third apartment, permanent third apartment in Amsterdam, and I had my yoga studio. It was right between my first apartment and the second apartment, so I was there like 2.5 years, and it was kind of my safe space, and a lot of hard times were spent there too. And now I'm looking for my new yoga studio. And this sounds like you're going on a date after you broke up and it wasn't his or your fault. So, and I just visited first time the closest yoga studio by me. And I was thinking like, it was like 2 hours class, like hour and a half. And I was thinking all the time, oh my God, no, my last yoga studio was so much better. And it's so funny when you find something like this and allow something for yourself like this, it's really hard to leave it.
Yeah,
I think it's much harder than in your hometown or home country.
probably, yeah. So we wish everyone in immigration going through something similar right now to find your special place, like cafe, nail salon, massage studio.
And you started with money. Have you left some services because of money? For example, I know a lot of people who are living here like 5 and more years, and they just stopped doing nails or something like this. For example, in Russia, I've done my eyebrows and my lashes, but I stopped doing it here. What do you think?
I've definitely started to get my hair cut much more rarely. You can see it. I mean, I haven't had such long hair since 11th grade, I think. Now I was also just telling Polina that I'm going to cut it because just it's the time. But yeah, I think that I do it now like once a year. And I used to do it much more often in Moscow because for me it's some kind of like therapy. Like you feel that you need to change something and you don't realize yet what has to be changed. You go, like, you book your appointment the next day, which is also very important. Like here, you have to probably do it in advance. And I mean, when I have this urge, I need to do it like right now. So yeah, that's something that I have had to let go of. Another thing, well, maybe massages. I haven't done it much back in Russia, but here I haven't done it at all. And sometimes I have had like this need.
I went to banya and for massages every week in Moscow, and it's really hard for me not to do this. And I think when I left Russia, it was about 3 years ago, and I was 28. And now I'm 31, and I see that I need some help with face master, maybe like face massage or something, which I could afford in Russia, but I can't afford here. And it's really hard for me because I'm looking at myself that, okay, even if I go to massage and banya every week here, my face will be much better too, but I can't afford it. So it's really frightening me. But I'm going to Turkey in 2 weeks to meet my mom, and I'm going to massage every day there. This is my holiday.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
I hope the bath is also included.
Yes, of course. Okay, the next letter?
Yeah, let's go.
I enjoy my life in Europe and have adapted to a new life of living, but now that I'm expecting a baby, I suddenly realize that my child will have a completely different experience growing up outside of Russia. This saddens me a lot. How will I explain to my child what it feels like to eat blackcurrants and raspberries straight from the bushes? How the air smells in Moscow after the thunderstorm? What a joy is to bury your nose in a lilac bush in May or to ride a bicycle along the Moscow River. I had a very happy childhood and I want my child to experience the same. But how can I, when all the little things that made my days so special in Russia are now so far away from us?
I'm a bit sad. Nostalgic sad.
Yes, and I think that having a baby in immigration, this is some new part of understanding where are you and what is your life looking for right now. I know all these feelings and Moscow River. I was living not so far from it in Moscow. And it's really interesting and hard for me when I see people who left Russia a couple of years ago with their children. I see that they're happy that now they live in some safe society, in different schools and all this stuff. But I think that having a baby in immigration, this is the different because you don't know what your baby would feel in Russia or in Moscow or even in your hometown. I'm not sure that Moscow is specific case. But of course, I'm thinking about this, about having a baby in immigration. What will he know about my home country? Will he or she speak my native language? I know a lot of people are trying to give their children for the Saturday schools for speak the language. And what if my child wouldn't want to do this? And I think it's his or her right, but how? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's I haven't been thinking about it much because I guess I'm a bit too young for that kind of
Thank you.
thoughts. Or maybe I'm just with different attitudes towards the age when you want to have children. I don't know, whatever. But when I think about it, well, there are, first of all, I think it's very important to have like roots, to know your origins. I don't know. I think it gives you some sense of stability. Like, for example, if there is like this, it doesn't define you, of course, you make your life yourself. But when you have some periods of like huge uncertainty, external, or you're going through some crisis, to have some sense of at least one element of your personality that you are sure of, because it's basically how you were born. I think it's very important. And I wonder in such cases, like how kids who were born as the second generation of immigrants feel in that regard. I think that I know stories when people sometimes try to reconnect with their roots later in life. So it's like something that they don't just have, that's something that they have to seek for themselves and to like actively look for it. And that's interesting. I mean, I'm not thinking it's necessarily bad, but I think it's just could be challenging. But on the other hand, I think Nastya mentions is she asks this question: how would my kid grow up without having the same experiences that I've had as a child? Because my childhood was happy, and to that I think that even if he or she, I don't know the gender of the baby, would grow up in Russia, their childhood would still be different from.
Yes, but Nasya has a big family and they have this family tradition. So I think that she's worrying about her dacha, for example, like
Yeah, that's a
couple
huge.
generations spend this time on this dacha and all this stuff. I think it's a little easier when you and your partner is from the same culture. So I think if you and your husband or your wife speak Russian or Turkish or Italian at home, your baby will speak this language and he or she will be bilingual.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is a great opportunity to his resume. But actually, it's much harder when you and your partner from different cultures. For example, my best friend Katya, she married to a man from Turkey who is living in Germany. So, like, she speaks Russian. Her native language is Russian. His native language is Turkish, but they live in Germany and they're trying to speak German. But between themselves, they speak English.
Yeah. Well, that's 4 languages in your resume.
Yeah, he is about 1 year old, a little bit more right now. And it's really interesting. I will meet him in June for the first time. And it's really interesting. Now I know that he said his couple first words in Russian because his mom speaks Russian and she spent a lot of time with him. But also, they spend a lot of time in Turkey with the relatives of her husband. So it's really interesting how it would be combined. For example, my friend Oля, she has her daughter Amelia, and they moved here. She was about 3 or 4. So she speaks Russian, English, and Dutch. And Dutch is her language, of course. And she's trying to correct her parents all the time. So it's really, really interesting. And the idea about childhood, which Nasta mentioned in her letter, I totally understand her, but I think this is part of the immigration. You can't do anything without it.
Yeah.
This is just it. This is our loss.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, it is sad as I felt this emotion after you've read her letter, but it's not necessarily bad. I mean, okay, probably the kid wouldn't have such experiences, but there would be many others. For example, they could build, I don't know, like a new family tradition when they go to Mallorca or somewhere every
Yeah,
summer,
and-
and the kids' memories would be filled with the smell of the sea, and I don't know, like the sound of the how do you call this? The smell of the sea, and maybe the different smell of the southern trees.
What did you want to say?
Cicada.
Okay, forget
Yeah.
about this. Yeah, and I'm sure that Nastya and all of immigrants totally understand it, but this is the minutes when you think about it. And so thank you, Nastya, for your letter. I think it was the one of the most emotional which we got before here. Thank you, and I wish you're listening this episode.
Yeah. Our last letter for today. Your letter, Polina. What would you like to share today?
I moved from new apartment, so no mice. And
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So I think I spent the first month there, and I'm pretty happy. And I think I felt myself in real home for the first time in my migration. And it's really interesting because these dots is connected. And in this autumn, it will be 3 years in the Netherlands, and 3 years is this is big immigration spot because everybody said that you need 3 years to feel yourself as at home or feel yourself in a new place. And I think I have half of a year before this date, and I think and I'm feeling that my mental part is trying to give me a lot of questions because now you're safe, you feel good in this country, you have your people, your spots, you understood how you can meet your friends and where, how you can spend time with your parents and where and how, and your life is pretty complete. And now I started to think about two things. The first one is dacha. I don't know why, but now I'm thinking, okay. I have my apartment. Okay, I have my office. This is my places. I have, I don't know, my park, my friend's flat. I need dacha. And it's really strange because I've never felt it before. I didn't have dacha in my dacha is a country house in Russian.
Yeah, but we should mention that it's not like some sort of like fancy country house. It's basically something that every family would have or many families would have. And sometimes it's a very like rundown wooden house.
Okay, I had a chick one.
I had a rundown one, and my experience, it was still a huge part of my childhood. The main idea is that, well, many cities in Russia are rather big, and this one is in some real countrysides. And yeah, you just have like, you just go there for fresh air, for small roads, for safety.
Yeah, and it's fun because I'm not sure that people from Amsterdam or even from Holland could understand this because like 10 minutes on bike and you were in this countryside.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't have dacha in my childhood. Actually, I had it from my 18th, but it was place when I get relaxed, and this was the only place when I didn't took my phone, so I can sleep there and actually eat and sleep all day. And at the second part of the day, I went to banya because we have sauna and hammam inside my dacha. And now I want it, and I'm not sure that I can afford it meantime. But I'm thinking maybe this year I want to try to rent something like for a week and try to work outside or something. So this is the first idea. And the second idea is my fun part because I think I left my fun part in Russia. In Russia, I felt myself much more free. Okay, it sounds really strange to feel yourself freely in Russia than here, but still, I had a lot of opportunities. I had a lot of connections. I had a lot of friends. I was kind of influencer there. And I was spending my time at parties and some, not fashion, but like cultural events. I don't know, like some art exhibitions and all this stuff. And this was one of the most important of my life in Russia. And now I don't have it at all. So I don't even know any night bars or clubs in Amsterdam, only gay ones because my colleagues brought me there once. I've been here in theater a couple times, but I think most of them was immigrants' place from Russia. I'm visiting concerts, but they're still Russian, and I'm not a guest. I'm buying a ticket. That's a different feeling. And now I'm asking myself, am I a new one? And I just now I live without it? Or can I find something here for myself? I used to be an actress in Russia, and I wasn't an actress. I had my journalistic career, but also I have some theater parts or music events where I was performing, and I'm thinking now, can I find something here? Because actually, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard route. You have this very expensive master classes from celebrities, or you need to go to some squads. But I'm pretty old for this. So this is the two questions. Okay, we can start with dacha, but I think that we totally understand each other here. But what do you think about fun part? Do you have this problem?
I don't think so. I mean, for me, it was different. I think that I've started to really let go of things more easily and allow myself to try new things more easily in Europe. Maybe it's just about also like my stage in life when I finally felt kind of sure of myself, but I still don't have like much responsibilities and I'm still pretty young. So I really gave into
And
all
you're
those.
just pretty, okay?
Oh, thank you. So I just gave into to all this stuff, but I don't know. I also think that in terms of like some artistic expression, it's kind of, I've always found it easier and more democratic in Europe because you can, I don't know, go do masters in film studies when you are just 27 years old or older, and nobody would like ask you
Yeah, that's true.
questions.
But you can do this when you have
Of
money
course,
or
yeah.
support or flat or something. So my work schedule is pretty tough, and and I think I don't have any time to do like this. So not only in my schedule, like not in my life too. So I can't. Now I'm actress. I can say like this. I have my work visa. So
Yeah, but what are you kind of here? Like you're talking about like schedule and well, there are of course some objectives reasons to that, but I think it's also about recognizing your need for that and trying to find space for it in your life. I mean, it doesn't have to be the career change. Maybe some small things, not even maybe like classes. I'm sure that there are definitely some opportunities for this sort of expression. It's just like first you recognize that you want it, then you start looking for it, and it would be more difficult than it used to be in Russia, just like basically with every need that you have, just because here everything works differently. But I'm sure that there are some more freely scheduled programs, or there are definitely some
yeah, but you
theaters.
sound not like part fun. You see, this is the difference. It was
Huh.
like fun for me. I don't want to.
Because it came easily and naturally.
Yes, and it was part of my life and part of myself. And now I'm thinking maybe it's just not part of myself anymore. Because when you immigrated, you have the new personality that's really works like this. It works for me, actually.
It is, but I don't know. I mean, I do understand that it's not so easy, but I think that there are some parts of ourselves that are just important for us. And even if we lose it for sometimes, for some like period of time, they're still worth getting back to, even if it's not so naturally this time. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm like less deterministic, but I think that our personality is also kind of shaped by ourselves. And if we want to have something in our lives, sometimes it comes naturally, and then we have to find a way to bring it back.
You're so wise.
I'm little Yoda. I don't know. I mean, for me, it feels just such a natural part of yourself. That's why I'm so like persistent about talking you into trying to recognize the signal and go for it.
Okay, I will waiting for the for the signal.
Yeah, and for the dacha.
Yes, yes, we definitely need to do this.
Maybe we need to rent it together because actually,
try it.
as I was going today to our recording, I was passing through the central station and I just caught this like smell of fresh air. I can't explain it. It's like when it's morning and it's still kind of cold.
I can say what did you feel? It named Maiskia. That's we mentioned before. We have this 9-day kind of vacation in Russia in May, and we call
Yeah.
it Maiskia from May.
Yeah.
And all people go to dachas.
Exactly, yeah.
And all my Instagram is stuffed with dacha stories. And I think this is part of my, I don't know, Russian personality. I need to go to dacha right now. This is Maisky. Maybe that's why we were thinking about this and feeling kind of these things right now.
Maybe, and also maybe because it's finally getting warm in the Netherlands, and I don't know. I was just going through this station, and I was thinking, like, I had this desire to just feel the grass with my bare legs.
Yes, I'm thinking about it for the second 2 days. for the last 2 days.
Okay, so we are definitely raising ourselves at home. Maybe some central part of the Netherlands, southern part. I think there it's more like the dacha types of
Is
environments.
it far from our office?
Far enough.
Yeah, but I think I need to go there.
We'll figure
Okay,
something.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was our 8th episode of Dear Expert podcast. It was Julia and Polina.
Yeah, so please don't forget to subscribe to us, to rate our episodes, to share it with your friends, and most importantly, to write us your letters and share your stories. You'll find email and all the information in our description, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.